Hello, I'm Janessa and welcome to my channel. I'm a health coach, and in this video we are going to review a recent video from Chelsea May, who's a YouTuber who is originally from New Zealand, has recently moved to Texas in the US. And Chelsea put out a what I eat in a day video, and you know me, I love to review what I eat in a day videos. So we're going to watch it together and see what we can learn. If you enjoy this kind of content, please like this video, subscribe to my channel, and let's get to Chelsea's video, What I Eat in a Day, Austin, Texas. So here's Chelsea's video, and you'll see if I scroll down here, it looks like as of July 1st, 2025, when I'm recording this, Chelsea has 133,000 subscribers on YouTube. I believe Chelsea also has a pretty substantial Instagram following as well. And it looks like this is mostly a what I eat in a day video, also a little bit of a vlog style. I believe Chelsea and her family recently relocated to Austin, Texas, so they're still getting settled in their Airbnb there. And from what I know about Chelsea, I came across their content years ago, actually, when I was going through a phase where I was doing some personal research and experimentation. I do that periodically with different approaches to nutrition and lifestyle. And this was a phase where I was learning a bit more about whole food, plant-based eating, specifically the starch solution. If you're familiar with that, it was encapsulated in a sense in a book by Dr. John McDougall, and I also came across other content creators since then. High Carb Hannah, I believe, has touched on this kind of approach. Broccoli Mom is another person I've followed, and Chelsea May is someone who's come across my radar. So just for some context on how I came across Chelsea and their content. And if you are a subscriber to Chelsea and you found your way here, welcome. My intention with these reviews is to offer a space where we can review content and essentially practice what does it mean to be informed and empowered consumers of health and wellness information online, particularly through social media. So we're going to look at their video here and get into it. Hopefully this looks like it's struggling to load, but let's just play it and see what happens. I want to make sure my volume is up appropriately.
Hello, coming at you live from Austin, Texas. I'm going to show you what I eat in a day since moving and just kind of take you through my day, everything that I'm cooking and all my walks and things like that. So without further ado, enjoy.
Okay, Planet Fitness, it looks like. Getting in a workout, first thing.
Just got back from the gym and I've got a brown sugar shake and espresso. I'm gonna drink that and then I'm going to want to shower. I want to have like a super busy, productive day today and just like smash up so much stuff. So that's my plan.
Is that better? I don't really like that light. It's very bright.
Not the best lighting here.
Let's do this. Take you around Austin.
So I'm gonna make some breakfast now.
Okay,
I could do,
breakfast. First meal.
like a porridge type thing. And
It might be a little hard to hear her, so I might repeat some things for you. We've got some quick oats. I know there's a big debate, quick oats versus steel cut oats. Let me know in the comments below what you prefer.
Blueberries.
And for me, it really depends on my mood. So we're getting some blueberries in there as well. And that looks like a pretty big portion. I wonder how much she's going to put in. Okay. So this might be something she's preparing for her family. Sorry, we got interrupted there because of an ad that popped up on YouTube. So adding in some silk plant-based milk, flaxseed, nice source of healthy fat, blueberries. And I do want to back this up. Chelsea kind of went through this quickly. I don't know if I can find it, the specific plant-based protein option, because that is an easy way to add protein to breakfasts. Let's see if I can get to the label. Okay, here we go. Premium almond protein. Interesting. Strawberry thick shake. I appreciate that name. So let's see. It looks like it's 22 grams of protein, 10. I can't quite read that. Let's see. I'm going to pull up almond protein thick shake powder. I'm just very curious about this brand. I've never seen it before. Is it just from New Zealand, or is this something she got from the US? Here, I found it. IB Spot, where is this? Macro Mike. Okay, Macro Mike. Strawberry thick shake, premium almond protein. Interesting. I have tried my fair share of plant-based proteins over the years, and I have not come across this brand, and I'm very intrigued. I wonder, because it's almond and fava bean base. Usually the ones that I've tried in the past have been like pea protein based, maybe pumpkin seed protein. Like generally for me, I stay away from soy-based protein, not because I have anything against soy. I eat soy products, but I just not a huge fan of soy protein in like a shake. I'm going to experiment. I haven't done this yet with my recording software, but if I share this tab instead, can you see my tab? I think you can see my tab. That's so cool. I just learned a new feature. I just learned a new feature on my recording software. That's awesome. Okay, so now you can see my screen. So Macro Mike, this is the product, strawberry thick shake. I'm very curious what other flavors they have. Okay, plant protein powder. What happens when we go here? Some really bright and colorful marketing. So there's peanut plant protein. There's a starter box with a lot. Now, this is where I always get curious when people who, and how I'm getting distracted by all of the colorful images. And that's part of food marketing, right? Like that is effective food marketing and something for us to keep in mind. When we're going down the aisle at the grocery store, we're scrolling on Instagram. I'm looking on my browser on my laptop and all these bright colors and flashy images and videos. This is all part of trying to pull us in and get our attention, and I completely fell for it. But I'm also intrigued. Chocolate hazelnut. Okay, I need to stop. Let's go back to her video just to talk about this for a second, because there are many ways to get in protein for the day. Protein supplements are not necessary for all people by any means. They can be a very convenient way, though, to increase protein consumption over the course of a day. This can be especially helpful. Generally speaking, this is not medical advice or nutritional advice. This is just general information that a lot of us already know, but just to remind ourselves that it can be helpful, especially when someone's doing some sort of strength training routine. I did notice that Chelsea was at Planet Fitness earlier in the day, and I'd be very curious to know, if I were working with someone like Chelsea and I were their coach, what that training routine looks like. Where did they get that routine and that structure? How is it going? Is there a particular kind of emphasis? Meaning, is it more of a hypertrophy program where they're really trying to build muscle? So there's a lot of information that I would want to know as a coach, just to understand the context for their decision to have a protein powder, just to make sure that behaviors are aligning with the types of goals someone has and also the methods they're using to get there. So thank you, Chelsea, for sharing this, because now I might get influenced myself and go buy some of this protein powder out of curiosity. I didn't see if it comes from abroad or not. But the other thing to keep in mind is I wanted to come back here and specifically look at the description for Chelsea's video, because often if people are sponsored or some sort of affiliate with a program or a company, they include that information in the description. I'm not seeing anything here. I'm seeing links for her own Fit with Plants program or website. I'm seeing some other links to products, but I'm not seeing anything around this product. So maybe this is just a product that Chelsea enjoys and she uses it and she puts it out on her YouTube. But that's always an important question to ask ourselves, just so we're aware, right, of where the influence is coming from, where energy flows, money flows. It's helpful for us to know so we can make more informed decisions. And like I said, in full transparency, I might have just been influenced by this, even though Chelsea, that may not be your intention. But let's keep going, because we got a lot of video to get through and we may not watch all of it because there's a lot going on. So let's get to the actual full breakfast. We've seen this part.
Very like blueberry.
Okay, so here's the full bowl.
Here, but again, don't have that.
That looks delicious for me personally. Maybe not for you. You can have your own opinion on that one.
I just love porridge. I love fish berries. It's not really something that we can get in New Zealand thing. So
I think Chelsea just said it could be harder to get fresh berries in New Zealand.
there you go.
I wonder why that is.
I ate all the raspberries. There's lots of blueberries though, okay? And banana. Do you want some help? Are you good? Let's go for a little tiny baby walk.
Okay, nice short walk. I wonder if they're doing this right after breakfast.
Mrs. Dreadlocks.
Bloody Monday night. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, get all your wiggles out.
Chelsea just told the kids, get all your wiggles out. Isn't that advice that adults could use? I'll raise my hand. That's advice that I could use. It's great to get outside, get some fresh air, especially after eating a meal. Often that can help with blood sugar regulation, in particular if we've had a higher carb meal, which generally speaking, I want to underscore that, whole food, plant-based, at least as it is often spoken about is a higher carb structure, although there are ways to do more of a higher fat, lower carb, maybe keto approach to vegan or plant-based as it's often called. My point is that those post-meal walks can be helpful just to keep all of that moving and regulated easily, and it can help with digestion as well. So it's great that they're heading out for a little walk and it's time to get your wiggles out. I'm going to tell myself that now. When I need a break, when I'm editing these videos and I need a break for a little bit, I'm going to think of you, Chelsea, and I'm going to tell myself, okay, Janessa, it's time to go get all your wiggles out.
I'm gonna walk. My knee feels very sore.
And we fast
These,
forwarded.
like little neighborhoods, like this one where we're staying for the Airbnb. It's not like the cutest, but there is some like adorable neighborhoods nearby.
Have you shown the screen your nails?
Oh, I have some very colorful nails right now.
Excuse me.
So we're not gonna do that. It looks fun though. You guys are gonna have a fun day with Dad while I film. I'm about to film another YouTube video and I'm trying to figure out where to film. They've got this kind of light here. Not a lot of natural light in this house, to be honest.
That's the life of a content creator. When traveling or in a new environment, always trying to figure out where is the natural light? Like where is, oh gosh, I just got a fuzz on my nose. Sorry, hang on. It's a Sadie fur, which she's around, by the way. She probably won't make an appearance in this video, my little mini Aussie. But that was a piece of her fur that just got all up on my nose. Anyway, I can appreciate Chelsea's frustration with this. It is definitely challenging to figure out a lighting situation, which is why I've got mine set up here. I'm going to do an Airbnb tour. Chelsea said the audio's not great, so we're going to fast forward. Where is this? Where's the food? Where's the food?
To begin with, there isn't really a lot of storage. We ended up buying an air fryer and an Ninja Creamy and a kettle and all kinds of other things. I didn't have really any containers, so I was like putting sweet potato. Now we have containers. We've kind of slowly started to get some stuff. I really like this tofurkey protein sauce, and then I'm loving these lentils from Trader Joe's as well. So all the convenience items that America has, like snap peas and shredded carrots and carrot chips. Like
I really appreciate Chelsea offering this perspective for people, because when we think about behavior change with nutrition, often we can feel challenged to make healthier decisions, to pick something that is going to nourish us a little bit better, because it's true, especially in the United States. That's what I can speak to from my experience. We're surrounded by highly processed foods. And if it is your goal to reduce highly processed foods, to eat more whole foods, plant-based sources of food, we are constantly bombarded by all of the stuff. I call it kind of the food stuff in the aisles, at convenience stores, at your checkout, wherever you're shopping. And Chelsea's offering this perspective to say, well, look here in the US at all of these healthy options that are so convenient, like the lentils that are already cooked. I've eaten those lentils before. It's so helpful to have lentils already cooked. And yes, they might be a little bit more expensive. Cost, if that is a concern, that can definitely be a barrier. We don't want to disregard how some of those more structural or social elements influence our ability to make healthy decisions. I'm not making a comment on that. I'm trying to highlight that for a particular person who has the means and is able to afford some of these more convenient options, that they really are available in a lot of places that are a bit more common, like Trader Joe's, but even your more generic grocery stores can have some of these. So this is, I think, a helpful reminder that if we are intending to really look for those opportunities, we can maximize what we can take advantage of.
I am absolutely like in love with everything at this point. All right, so moving on to lunch, I made a sushi bowl and I just got this tofu from Trader Joe's. I put it straight in the air fryer. My air fryer always gets super dirty. And then this steamed rice is from Sprouts and Whole Foods. I like to put some sweet potato in my sushi bowls because it just helps me to feel that little bit more full. And then I'm using a ton of veggies. I think for today I just didn't even have any broccoli. I pretty much run out, which is why I'm using like more of these raw vegetables. And I normally use half an avocado, sometimes like a quarter of an avocado, and that's kimchi. I was actually listening to it because it was buzzing. Like it was such good kimchi that I got from Trader Joe's as well.
Wait, buzzing? Kimchi buzzes? I feel like I've missed out on something here. What does that mean? Kimchi can buzz? Or is that just like a term to say it was really great? I now feel a little insecure because that was probably a silly question. I actually thought she was saying that it was making a sound. That's not what Chelsea was saying, right? I think Chelsea was saying that it buzzes, it's buzzing, it's really good. We'll roll with that understanding for now. What stands out to me about what Chelsea's preparing here is that there's a lot of vegetables, which if your goal is weight loss, that's not necessarily the focus of this video based on the title alone, but it does look like Chelsea has those programs for weight loss on a whole food, plant-based vegan diet, filling up with vegetables, with fiber. That is a strategy we can use to increase our satiety, which overall can help reduce our caloric intake over the course of a day, or even sometimes I find it a little bit more helpful to think about it over the course of a week, as an example. And that's also going to be supported by using the potato. Again, that sense of filling ourselves up. Now, for you may not be someone who really likes high volume eating. Some people do really well with high volume eating as a means for weight loss as well as weight maintenance. I wouldn't necessarily say high volume eating is a really effective strategy for weight gain, since usually if we're trying to gain in the context of, let's say, wanting to put on some muscle and therefore we're wanting to be in a caloric surplus, filling ourselves up a lot is actually contrary or might make it a little more difficult to consume enough food over the course of a day. But if your goal is weight loss, weight maintenance, that is a context where that can make a lot of sense. But for some people, that makes them feel uncomfortable. The amount of fiber, the amount of volume just isn't a preference. And if that's you, that's totally fine too. My intention with looking at these What I Eat in a Day videos is to say, hey, here's someone sharing their story about what works for them. That may work for you, that may work for me, but it may not work for you or me or really a lot of people. Because at the end of the day, what matters most is for an individual, what is working for that individual. So this is Chelsea May's approach. Honestly, for me personally, a little disclosure, this is so delicious. Like I would love.
And then I always add
this
some
kind
soy
of
sauce,
lunch.
some sesame seeds, and normally I add like a tiny bit of maple syrup as well. But this honestly is so good. It's so much easier now that I have that pre-packaged stuff, which
That makes it
just
so
makes my
quick.
life amazing.
And I'm gonna go through a cafe and like upload some footage, do like a little bit of an edit, and it's about like 2 mile walk. So I'll definitely be able to get in like my 10,000 steps for the day. I freaking love the sun. I am like loving like getting like my shoulders and like my body just kind of more tanned every day. I feel very summery. Oh, it's hot.
Okay, we fast forwarded through her walk. She was just getting in a walk to a cafe, which is where we are now. She mentioned having a 10,000 steps a day goal, which is fairly standard. Although, again, so much of what I say is it's individual, it depends. I think what's most important is figuring out where your current state is and then starting to make small incremental changes over time. So to tell someone who's getting, let's say, 2,000 steps a day that their goal should be 10,000, and that's not what Chelsea's saying. I'm saying this hypothetically in general. For someone who's getting 2,000 steps a day to then try to all of a sudden get 10,000 steps a day, that may not be realistic for them or sustainable for them. But breaking that goal down over time into small goals, like for example, well, maybe over the course of the next week, the goal is just to get somewhere between 2,000 and 2,500 steps a day, or maybe up to 3,000 steps a day, whatever feels feasible to that person, and understanding how that can fit in their particular routine and lifestyle. So where will this person get those extra steps in? When will that person get those extra steps in? For example, if they have an office job or if they're sitting at a desk all day, is it just incorporating little walks over their lunch break and then their 15-minute breaks? Or is it doing a walk at the end of the day before having dinner or after dinner? And that is so individual. But overall, I think taking that larger goal and breaking it down is going to support sustainability over time, so that if your goal is to be like Chelsea someday and be able to regularly get in 10,000 steps a day, you know that you can build up to that. What drink is this? Good question.
The because doing just a tiny bit more work, and then I'm going to go home and I'll make Amy's recipe to get closer.
Yes.
Okay, great.
Oh,
I'm going to make the recipe from her not released, not publicly released ebook.
Oh.
My new kid got the recipes
funny.
from the meal plan.
Do you eat the skin?
Okay, we're going to fast forward a little bit. I think she's saying that she's going to make a meal from Amy, who is Broccoli Mom, I mentioned earlier, make a recipe from her forthcoming book. So let's see, let's skip ahead.
It's like from
Here we go.
my best friend Amy, her new meal plan, and that she is going to be launching very soon. So if you want to get the first dibs on access to that, then I'm going to put a link in the description. Like, her recipes are amazing, and something that I love about this meal plan that she's created is that it's very easy. Like, even for myself, I can see how I would do this, and I don't cook a lot of recipes. It's very easy.
And this is interesting because they are, from what I know, both content creators on YouTube as well as Instagram, maybe some other platforms too. They're also friends, Chelsea and Amy. And it looks like they're supporting one another with cross-marketing each other's products, or at least Chelsea's doing that for Amy in this situation, in this video. And I appreciate how she's transparent about it, saying this is my friend, but also there's something that I think that could be valuable to you. If you're interested, this is how you would check it out. And overall, to me, in my body compass, it feels very genuine, very authentic. And this is important to keep in mind too, because for you, as you come across content creators, including myself, you may watch content from me or from Chelsea or from other people. Our bodies have a certain kind of intuition or intelligence about things if we're willing to listen and unpack that and be in relationship with it, because you're going to find people who, when you watch their content, something feels good, something feels like it's aligned or it resonates, whatever language you want to use, that sounds good to you. And then for others, it's like, ooh, like this isn't quite a fit. Or this is especially true, not in this situation, I think, but in other situations where we're coming across a lot of really heavy sales and marketing tactics. It's like, okay, the story sounds really good to my mind, but I'm feeling something in my body that says, this just isn't quite what I think you think it is. And that's where these more casual, very relaxed, and what seems very authentic ways of selling or cross-selling or cross-marketing, to me personally, they just feel a little bit better. You can decide for yourself what feels good to you.
But there's like variety in it. So if you're busy, if you're like a real human being and you want to lose weight, then this is amazing.
We're gonna fast forward. They're making the meal. Looks like a mac and cheese. Just keep going. I want to see the whole meal. We're gonna try to keep this. Oh, here we go. Okay, so the whole meal looks like that she created is some sort of mac and cheese with broccoli, and this is very aligned with some of the more it's not strict starch solution, I think, but some of those ideas around filling up half your plate with vegetables. And this is overall, there are many different weight loss programs, structures, philosophies where basically on your plate, you're trying to maximize the amount of vegetables, especially non-starchy vegetables, to fill yourself up so that you consume more of that low calorie density food versus the higher calorie density food, which will be on the rest of your plate. So in this situation, there's a lot of broccoli there. And I know another strategy that can be talked about is prioritizing vegetables or salad or soups or things like that before you eat as a way to fill yourself up. Whether or not those are strategies that will be helpful to you depends on your situation and your goals. So it doesn't work for everyone, or maybe I should say it's not always necessary depending on who you are and what you need in that moment and what you're trying to achieve. But this is, I think, an example of that. And thanks to Chelsea for putting this together, because it is helpful too to see it visually like this.
That's
It's very pretty too, in my opinion.
right. I just asked, should I be stealing Amy's recipes? That's like helping her promote it. Like, we need to fix that up. So ready to eat at this point. Really good. What do you think, Nick?
It was good.
Very good.
So, yeah.
Husband approves. There we go. Seems like kids approve too. Evening stroll. It's another example of getting in that walk.
A bit of an afternoon evening stroll.
I think they stroll around Austin for a while. So let's, though, fast forward to tea time, making tea and seeing what Chelsea ends the day with, because if we recap so far, what we've seen is 3 larger, more high volume meals. Breakfast was porridge or oats. Then there was the sushi bowl at lunch, and then the mac and cheese and broccoli at dinner. I don't think Chelsea, or at least in this video, Chelsea's not sharing macro or calorie information. That, from what I understand, has been a part of that approach with this idea of more high volume eating, whole food, plant-based, vegan. Not that people are against counting calories necessarily, but I think part of that ideology or philosophy is that if you fill yourself up on these whole food, plant-based, vegan foods, that you won't necessarily need to track calories in order to get into a deficit and lose weight. So you can have your opinion about that. I'm just restating my understanding of some of that philosophy. But let's see, it looks like Chelsea has a little snack later. What is this?
We're gonna get it.
Plant bites. Okay, let's see what these plant bites are. Oh, I forgot I can share my tab with you. Woo, so here's the tab. I don't know if I'm gonna find them. These plant bites. Is this it? No, plant bites. Let's just see what comes. Oh, no, we don't want plant bites. That's like, no, what did I clicked on? Images. Plant bites, snack food. Oh my God, I can't believe I did that. I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna oh, here we go. Plant bites. Here's an Instagram account. Follow our new account at Compliment. Is this what that is? Maybe not. Plant bites, period. Plant bites, period. I don't know, guys. I am having a hard time. Here we go. Oh, we found it. Premium plant protein. So is this that same brand? Is this the same brand? The premium plant protein. And this is, yeah, this must be from another country because this is not, yeah, New Zealand. Okay, so Chelsea must have brought this from New Zealand because everything is in the, like, all, how do I say this? The nutritional information is according to 100 grams of the product, which is not how labels in the US are structured. So that can be a little confusing for people. Oh, and I just realized I wasn't sharing this tab. Okay, now you can see what I'm looking at here. So as an example, salted caramel, this information here says quantity per serving, quantity per 100 grams. So yes, it's from New Zealand. You can see that's listed there. So out of curiosity, that's what Chelsea's having as her little tea time snack. And I think that's the end of the video. Yeah, she just said from New Zealand. If I just watch the next 5 seconds.
Yeah, so I'm just watching that.
A little bit. Let's get it.
Those look pretty delicious. I really like. Okay, we'll end on that. Oh, sorry, that was not very flattering. There we go. Okay, there we go. We'll wrap it up. Thank you so much for watching our little review of Chelsea May's What I Eat in a Day, Austin, Texas, new city, new routine, vegan. In brackets. That's the name of the title of the video. Drop a comment below. Let me know what stood out to you. Also, let me know if there are any other content creators you want me to look their stuff. And in full transparency, I'm thinking about doing my own little snack meal reviews, what I eat in a day, throwing it out there, because I figure if I'm putting my commentary out there, I'm an open book too. I don't mind sharing with you what I'm doing with the disclaimer that it is what I do and it may not work for you. So if you're interested in seeing that as well, let me know in the comments, and I look forward to connecting again soon.